Thank you. I would like to call to order the regular city council meeting of May 7th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Councilman Werner.
Here.
Councilman Martinez.
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Present.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Present.
Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please all stand and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
seated. Additions, deletions, or modifications to the agenda. I would like someone to make a motion to add the city's logo, placing of the city's logo on the partnership with the Palm Beach County CPA's walk bike safety audit to the agenda. We can place it under new business. Item
B.
As in Bravo.
I'll move the adding item B under new business to include the inclusion of the city's logo on the Palm Beach TPA organization. Cover it?
Walk bike safety audit.
Oh, the walk bike and safety
Oh, sure.
audit.
A second.
We have a motion by Councilman Werner, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call. Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
I'd like to now entertain a motion to approve the modified agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilman Martinez. Roll call. Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 comments. A public comment card should have been completed and returned to the city clerk. When you're called to speak, please go to the podium, and prior to addressing council, state your name and address for the record. All public comments will be noted and may receive a response if necessary. Any follow-ups will be handled by staff at a later time. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments?
Looks like there will be one.
Let's take the podium and state your name and address for the record, and podium's right here. You can omit the card this time. It's fine. No worries.
Sorry.
Okay. Greetings, City of Westlake public servants. My name is Candace Rojas. I'm here today to put you all on notice as a sovereign American, and in this bag has requests for your oaths and bonds. This is step 104 to activate the military. The Constitution states that all of the power, not some of the power, belongs to we the people. It also states that fraud vitiates everything, ab initio. So I'm here to boldly intercede for those without a voice to defend the Constitution and restore the Republic. If you have not already heard, there's a changing of the guard. It's a paradigm shift taking place all across the nation. No more generational political nepotism. No more secret societies controlling masses. No more appointed board members via the tap of a secret society handshake. The facade of power and control and fake leaders is over. Did you know that Palm Beach County is an illegal foreign corporation called the Palm Beach County Charter with Home Rule Charter? And City of Westlake is acting under that charter. So therefore, each of you, whether you're elected, appointed, selected, or staff members, have no valid or legal oaths or bonds. And you do not follow the Constitution or common law. Instead, you're operating under maritime law, following fake statutes that benefit your own narrative, to control your constituents. In 2016, Minto, a Canadian-based land developer, purchased 4,800 acres at Westlake. You added corporations to come in, including a regional medical center, an educational center to indoctrinate children. The stats of 2020 include 355 households, 342 families, so there's a lot of children here, and 936 people. And you have plans to build 680 more homes. Yet I don't see one Native American here. Did the cabal take this land from our Indians? The city leaders are not transparent. You have no accountability to people. You're not working for the people. There are foxes guarding the hen house. You charge illegal taxes, fines, and fees. During the March 2020 scandemic pandemic, you've locked down people, closed public spaces and businesses, and promoted deadly vaccines. We have not forgotten this tyranny, and treason was committed. So I am here to put you on notice. Thank you.
Your name and address for the record? Thank you.
My name is Candace Rojas. I am not, I don't live in this community. I'm just an American sovereign. I live in Boynton Beach, Florida. Thank
You
you.
do have an address, all right?
I do. 3006 Waterside Circle, Boynton Beach, Florida. 33435. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more public comments, Madam Clerk?
I have comments.
Sure.
Good evening, Westlake, City of Westlake leaders. My name
Could you state your name and address for the record?
Sure. I said, good evening, City of Westlake leaders. My name is Mickey Isaacson. I live in Palm Beach County.
You need your address for the record.
On the microphone or in the card? 11260 Glen Orchard Lane. You're welcome. So thank you for letting me speak today. Actually, most of what I have to say are a lot of questions, and I'm not expecting answers tonight, but hopefully you can reply by a future public records request or an email from me. Can you tell me what your municipality has to do with the Seminole Improvement District? Is the city of Westlake built on Native American land? Is there any correlation with the city of Westlake, the Seminoles development and statute 285.061, which is the transfer of land to United States in trust for Seminole and Mississippi Indian tribes? It appears all your positions here at the city are appointed and you do not hold elections. The most recent appointment was on 4/2 for Greg Langwiski from councilman to vice mayor. Is there a reason you do not hold municipal elections in March at the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections? Or do you only have appointments and you don't hold elections in your city? Do you pay the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections to hold elections in the 4 precincts, or do you hold your own? Could Westlake City hold fair elections in the 4 precincts by using watermarked people ballots, hand count in your precinct, same-day voting, no early voting, no machines, keep your own municipality voter rolls clean, have valid ID, provide the military, ADA, and the elderly with a fair, honest system to vote, report your election results from the same day from the precinct? Do you get fundings from the federal government, the state, and the county, or is it just your own tax that pays for your budget? Do you know that the Palm Beach League of Cities, you appoint the same city officials here from Westlake to be on the Palm Beach League of Cities? What is the Palm Beach League of Cities? Why do we need Palm Beach League of Cities, the city commissioners of Palm Beach County, the charter county, the municipal counties to govern 5,000 residents in your neighborhood? Do you know Palm Beach County is a charter county? Florida has 67 counties, 20 of them are charters. We are one of them. Do the residents of Westlake vote for anything, or is everything selected by the city officials and the resident, or for the residents? And do you know that Florida state organic constitution was written in 1838 and was changed many times and does not follow natural common law? and I'm an American sovereign. And just trying to educate people like you in cities to understand what is happening in our country so that maybe you can do some changes and do the right thing for the people in the cities. Thank you.
Staff have your information to follow up with you on some of those answers? Awesome. Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any more public comments?
I have not received any additional comment cards, Mayor.
Okay. Let's move forward with the consent agenda. This section of the agenda consists of routine administrative items that require final approval by the City Council and may be approved in its entirety by a single motion. There will be no discussion of these items unless a council member requests such, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered on a future agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilman Werner. Roll call. Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. We now have a series of proclamations. I will read very quickly. Starting with declaring May 14th through 2024 as Florida Water Reuse Week. Whereas safe and clean and sustainable water resources are essential to Florida's environment, economy, citizens, and visitors, and whereas although Florida's water supplies are finite, the state's population and need for water resources continue to increase, whereas water reuse provides means for conserving and augmenting Florida's precious water resources and is the key to the state's sustainable water future. And whereas Florida has established the encouragement and promotion of water reuse as state objectives in chapters 373 and 403 Florida statutes, and whereas Florida's permitted reuse capacity is more than 1.8 billion gallons per day, which is approximately 70% of Florida's total permitted capacity for all domestic wastewater treatment facilities. And whereas Florida has risen to be the national leader in water reuse, reusing nearly 820 million gallons of reclaimed water per day to conserve fresh water supplies and recharge our freshwater resources. Whereas May, typically a dry month when water demands are high, is a good time to educate residents about how they can help save Florida's precious water resources through water reuse. And whereas Water Reuse Florida, the state section of the Water Reuse Association, has proclaimed the week of May 14th to the 20th, 2024 as Florida Water Reuse Week. And whereas the city of Westlake has joined with Water Reuse Florida, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and South Florida Water Management District in encouraging and promoting water reuse conservation. And whereas the city of Westlake encourages efficient and effective use of reclaimed water. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Council, the people of the city of Westlake, I, John Paul O'Connor, Mayor of the city of Westlake, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby officially proclaim and recognize May 14th through May 20, 2024 as Water Reuse Week. Thank you. Water reuse. Now, have before us a proclamation for National Day of Remembrance. This was sponsored by Councilman Werner, and I will now read this into the record. Whereas the Holocaust was the state-sponsored systematic persecution and annihilation of European Jewry by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945, Jews were the primary victims. 6 million Jews were murdered. Roma people with disabilities and Poles were also targeted for destruction or dissemination for racial, ethnic, or national reasons. Millions more, including gay men, Jehovah's Witnesses, Soviet prisoners of war, and political dissidents, also suffered grievous oppression and death under Nazi tyranny. And whereas the history of the Holocaust offers an opportunity to reflect on the moral responsibilities of individuals, societies, and governments. And whereas we, the people of the city of Westlake, should always remember the terrible events of the Holocaust and remain vigilant against the hatred, persecution, and tyranny. And whereas we, the people of the city of Westlake, should actively rededicate ourselves to the principles of individual freedom in a just society. And whereas the days of remembrance have been set aside for the people of the city of Westlake to remember the victims of the Holocaust, as well as to reflect on the need for respect of all peoples. And whereas pursuant to an act of Congress, Public Law 96-388, October 7, 1980, the United States Holocaust Memorial Council designates the days of remembrance of the victims of the Holocaust to be Sunday, May 5th through Sunday, May 12th, including the Day of Remembrance known as Yom HaShoah, May 6, 2024. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Council and the people of the City of Westlake, I, John Paul O'Connor, Mayor of the City of Westlake, do hereby proclaim the week of Sunday, May 5th through Sunday, May 12th, 2024, as Day of Remembrance, in memory of the victims of the Holocaust and in honor of the survivors, as well as the rescuers and liberators, and further proclaim that we, as citizens of the City of Westlake, should work to promote human dignity and confront hate whenever and wherever it occurs. The foregoing proclamation was sponsored by Councilman Member Gary Werner, and upon unanimous consent of the council, the mayor declared the proclamation duly enacted.
Thank you, ma'am.
That was a good. Okay, moving forward with a handful of more proclamations. Next will be proclamation for the 55th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, sponsored by Vice Mayor Langowski, which I will read into the record as soon as I find it. And it is here. If you don't mind, I'm going to read this one quickly. As much as I love our municipal workers, we're going to zoom through this. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and the agencies of the government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Therefore, I, John Paul O'Connor, Mayor of the City of Westlake, do recognize the week of May 5th through 11th, 2024, Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Zoe Burgess, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they present. The foregoing proclamation was sponsored by Vice Mayor Greg Langowski, and upon unanimous consent of the council, the mayor declared proclamation duly enacted. Let's have a hand for our clerks. Oh, two more. Yeah. Okay. Declaring the month of May Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas each year in May, Mental Health Awareness Month is recognized to support efforts of fighting the stigma associated with mental health, providing support, educating the public, and advocating for equal care. And whereas, according to National Institute of Mental Health, studies show that there are an estimated 52.9 million adults aged 18 or older in the United States suffering from mental illness, representing over 20% of all the U.S. adults. And whereas these studies also reveal that 1/2 of all chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14, and that young adults between the ages of 18 to 25 have the highest prevalence of mental illness. And whereas Americans of all ages, genders, races, and socioeconomic status can experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives that contribute to their mental health. And whereas the stigma surrounding mental illness can cause sufferers to postpone or neglect seeking treatment. With early and effective diagnosis and treatments, individuals with mental health conditions can manage their needs and lead full, productive lives. Whereas every business, government agency, school, healthcare provider, organization, and individual citizen shares a responsibility in promoting and supporting mental health awareness. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Council and the people of the City of Westlake, I, John Paul O'Connor, Mayor of the City of Westlake, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby officially proclaim, recognize the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Westlake, and encourage all to help reduce the stigma, normalize mental health challenges, and encourage those who experience mental health struggles to know that recovery is possible. Foregoing proclamation was sponsored by Council Member Charlotte Leonard, and upon unanimous consent of the council, the mayor declared the proclamation duly enacted. Thank you, Councilwoman Leonard, for sponsoring that proclamation. We have before us a presentation by Gina Levesque from the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics. Hi, Gina. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Gina Levesque, and I'm the Intake and Compliance Manager for the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics, and we are. My name is Gina Levesque from the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics, and we are located at 300 North Dixie Highway in West Palm Beach. I am the Intake and Compliance Manager for the Commission, and I've been there about 14 years. I'm really delighted to be here today to discuss the vital role of the Commission on Ethics in fostering and enhancing the public's trust in government. The Commission on Ethics was established in 2010 following a recommendation by the grand jury in 2009 for ethics reform in local government in Palm Beach County. I've had the privilege of being part of the organization since inception, witnessing its growth and impact over the years. Our primary responsibility is to provide oversight, transparency, accountability for over 12,000 elected officials, public employees, and advisory board members within our county. Additionally, we have limited jurisdiction over lobbyists, principals, employers of lobbyists, and vendors operating within our region. It's important to note that our commission operates independently from any county or municipal government influence. Our commission consists of 5 members who are esteemed community members selected by independent groups, ensuring impartial and fair oversight. All county government and municipalities within our jurisdiction are subject to ethics ordinances that we enforce. The Code of Ethics, outlined in a comprehensive 12-page document, serves as a critical framework to ensure public officials and employees conduct themselves with integrity, independence, and impartiality. The code explicitly prohibits the use of public office for personal gain, emphasizing the importance of public trust and accountability. A cornerstone of our ethics program is education and prevention. We prioritize ongoing training initiatives, provide advisory opinions, and strive to establish a culture of ethics within government institutions. Our programs are designed to enhance public trust in government operations, demonstrating our commitment to ethical governance. Our dedicated staff offers accessible training sessions and provides advisory services, having issued over 525 advisory opinions to date. This proactive approach aims to prevent ethical lapses and ensures ethical conduct within our community. Statutory authority. While we possess the statutory authority to enforce penalties such as letters of reprimand and fines up to $500 per violation, our primary focus remains on educating individuals under our jurisdiction to prevent violations before they occur. We prioritize transparency in making all advisory opinions, gift forms, voting conflict forms, and complaints readily available on our website under the Databases tab. In conclusion, I want to commend each of you for your dedicated work. As you continue to fulfill your responsibilities, please remember the importance of ethical considerations. Ask first, act later. Should anyone require further information or assistance, please don't hesitate to give us a call. And my second reason for being here is that before you tonight will likely be the interlocal agreement with our office to re-sign to come under our jurisdiction for another 3 years. We've had a time getting it back before the Board of County Commission, so it's taken me a few months to get it to you guys, but it should be taken care of tonight, and we will get it before the Board of County Commission in the next month. Does anyone have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Lebec?
I don't have any questions.
Appreciate
Okay.
everything you do.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Hey. We have before us Resolution 2024-08, approval of the plat of Westlake Pod G North. City Attorney, please swear in any witnesses that wish to provide testimony. Let's also disclose any ex parte communication, if any. City Attorney,
Yes, sir.
can we swear in any witnesses and ask for any ex parte communications to be?
Are those individuals going to testify during the course of this matter? Please stand, raise your right hand, be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please proceed.
No ex parte communication on my part. Anybody else? Council? No. Okay, great. Moving forward, city staff, let's see your presentation, please. Have a presentation from staff?
It's not
Okay.
a presentation, sir.
Good evening. This is Suzanne Dombrowski here. I'm online. We do not have a presentation, but the staff report you should have included, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Dombrowski. Do we have any questions from the council or comments?
No.
Let's go ahead and open for public hearing. Do we have any comments from the public regarding this plat?
I received no public comment cards.
If you could please just state your name and address for the record, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ted Sarandis, 15780 Crestwind Place in Westlake. I just think it's all important when we have any of these items on the agenda. I understand we have a staff on the internet. We have to have a staff member here to explain to the public what the deal is, with all due respect. We got to get an explanation. This is just language. It's a paragraph. When we have staff and we know that it's a challenge because it's a small staff, I would appreciate Ms. Dombrowski giving us a detailed explanation rather than a paragraph of language, which is difficult for the average citizen to ascertain. There's so much land out here. There's always people wanting to buy and sell land. Mr. Mayor, I would ask you respectfully, anytime any of these things happen, can we please have a staff member come to the meeting and make a presentation? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the applicant does have a presentation.
Oh, wonderful.
Excuse me, before you do, any other public comments?
Any other public comments?
I have no other public comment cards, Mayor.
Great. Let's have a presentation on this very item. Very welcome. Yes.
Would you confirm you're sworn? Thank you.
In fact, I was going to say, good evening. For the record, I am Donna Cicero.
A little louder.
Hi, sorry, good evening. I'm Donna Cicero. I'm with Kotler and Hearing. Here on behalf of Don Hearing as the agent for the property owner, who's Minto PBLH LLC. I have been sworn in. This petition is for a resolution of approval for the final plat of Pod Chi North in the city of Westlake. This is my remote now. Oh, pointed towards you. This is just a pretty preliminary, simple plat. That's why Dawn sent me here. No.
Yeah.
The first, excuse me. They never put me in charge of the remote at home. Let's see why, right? Okay, so this is the master plan and it's highlighting Pod G North. And this pod is located west of Seminole Pratt Whitney, and it's between Town Center Parkways North and South. This is the remaining property, Pod G property, north of the Publix Plaza and James Business Park.
Okay.
And then the next one will give you a current aerial of highlighting the Pod G North, which you can see has been cleared and so forth to date. And you'll see James Business Park to the south of it and Publix Plaza. And the recently approved Publix Phase 2. This plat is 57.595 acres. Lot 1 within the plat is dedicated to Minto PBLH LLC, who's the property owner. All utility and drainage easements are dedicated to SID, Seminole Improvement District, and the surveyor is GeoPoint Surveying, Inc. There's only 3 sheets to this plat. And there is Lot 1, and there is a broader view of Lot 1. And then just for the record, this request is consistent with the City of Westlake land development regulations and comprehensive plan. This request has been determined to be technically compliant and has been approved by SID on May 6th, 2024. This request is consistent with the requirements of Florida Statute 177-071. That's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions?
Do we have any questions for the applicant? Mr. Warner?
Yes, thank you, Don. What exactly does the plat provide? Because this council has already acted on several parts within that plat.
I'm sorry.
Is this not the property that the council?
No,
It's not, it's totally vacant.
this is totally vacant. It is the parcel that is north of the public site. It's located between Town Center Parkway South and Town Center Parkway North.
Can we pull the
It is a
aerial back
vacant-
up?
It is vacant land
That's where.
and it is a boundary plat.
So this plot is creating a lot, legal lot,
Step 1.
almost 58 acres in size. Any further divisions of the property anticipated?
Not at this time, but certainly that's possible. Sure.
Why are we looking at this at this point in time?
Because the developer has the right to bring forth a plat, and they're encouraged to plat properties as development continues to go in Westlake.
Okay, I have a question of staff.
Sure.
To the planning staff or city manager, are there any applications filed on behalf of this property other than this plat?
Nothing.
If this plat were not approved tonight, what would we be looking at? Part of a larger plat that already exists?
Sure, I know how to answer that question.
Let's stay focused here.
The majority of the land is not platted. It is a boundary within the entire city is platted, but every other parcel is not platted at this time. They're platting parcels as they become ready for development or potential development in anticipation of development.
Okay. As part of this plat, are street improvements on the way?
Infrastructure, sorry, yeah.
Not at this time.
Mr. Mayor, may I join Mrs. Smith?
Please state your name and address for the record.
Catherine Rossmell with Lewis Longwood and Walker here on behalf of Minto PBLH, and I have been sworn. The plat before you tonight is a boundary plat. It is not subdividing the land before you. It has met all of the technical requirements of the statutes and the code. Your staff is recommending approval. Ms. Cicero can talk to you better about the dedications that are on the face of the plat. They all will be made to the Seminole Improvement District, and that's all that's before the council tonight. The future plans of the client are not.
I do. Do you want to?
Yeah, I didn't understand a word you said. You were talking so lightly.
Sorry, is it,
If I could jump in,
Please.
Councilman, preliminary plat in Florida is just preliminary. It's just setting a boundary. Further review will come before the city as subdivisions, as it's subdivided, lots are identified, parcels are identified, infrastructure. So this is a very preliminary plat, and respectfully under Florida law, if they meet the requirements of our code, it becomes a ministerial act. And we don't have the right to impose conditions or even deny it, provided they met our requirements. But to answer your question, it's very, very preliminary.
Understand what that means. But I'm not quite sure I understand why at this time are we looking at a preliminary plat on this property and not some of the other properties? I mean, it seems to me that the developer might be further along in planning or designing or in negotiating. Is that possible?
so again, we're not empowered tonight to speak to you about our client's future plans. We're only here on behalf of our client regarding the plat that's in front of you. We don't have other information that's available to share with the council at this time on the property.
Then to the city attorney, if it's a ministerial act, does our code require the council to act on it?
Yes, sir.
Then it wouldn't be ministerial, would it?
Under Florida law, it is. Case law.
Okay.
It's a very frustrating component, and I've had that conversation with many elected officials.
Okay.
Why do I have to vote for it? That's how Florida law has evolved, Councilmember.
Okay, I'll have to do some digging into Florida law to understand
I'd be
that.
happy to provide you the case.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
Do you have any further questions for us?
Do we have any further questions for the applicant or the applicant's legal counsel? Great. Thanks. That's all. I was just about to get there.
Excuse me, we've opened the public hearing and you closed it. If you want to reopen it, you need to have a motion.
Make a motion to reopen public hearing.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilman Martinez.
I'd
Roll
like-
call. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes,
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
I'd like to please invite you, sir, to state your name and address for the record, and you've got 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Larry Hatchidakis. I live on 5580 Starfish. The reason I have a question before is I didn't get all the full information from the applicants. What is this zoning of this property?
Good question. I don't know the answer.
no, it's probably.
It's Osneal.
Sir, if you have any other questions, why don't you ask them now so we don't go back and forth?
Okay.
Do you have any other questions? Is that, okay, great.
Good evening. For the record, Osneal Leon, planner for the city of Westlake. The subject property is on mixed use.
Mixed use. Correct. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Do we have any other comments from the public before I close the public hearing?
What did you say the zoning was?
Mixed use.
That's what I thought. It's mixed use zoning.
Do we have any more comments from the public? What does mixed use entail, Osneal?
Mixed use in the zoning code, there's a series of uses permitted by right, mainly in commercial aspect. So it's a lot of, there's some residential as well that could be allowed. But it's all listed on the permitted uses under the District 3, the zoning code.
So mixed use.
Correct.
Variety of different uses. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close public hearing.
Issued by title only, a resolution of the City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving the plat of Westlake Pod G North being a portion of Section 1, Township 43 South, Range 40 East, City of Westlake, Palm Beach County, Florida, being a part of replat of Track B, Town Center Parkway Southwest, Plat Book 132, page 57 and 58, and a portion of open space track number 1 for Simmons Boulevard West, Plat 2, Plat Book 134, pages 164 through 166 inclusive. Both of the public records of Palm Beach County, Florida, providing for recordation, conflict, severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thanks, sir. And if there's no further discussion, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 2024-08.
Second. Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call, Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Abstain.
Sir, you have to vote one way or another. Otherwise, you have to
No.
declare a conflict.
Otherwise, what?
You have to declare a conflict.
Oh, there's no conflict. I'll vote no, simply because I just want to become more familiar with the state laws. Not that I don't believe our attorney, I do, but I want to become more familiar with it. And I think it's premature at this point without knowing what's going to happen there.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1. Thank you.
New business. We have before us Resolution 2024-09, approving and authorizing the mayor or vice mayor to execute the interlocal agreement between the city of Westlake and Palm Beach County. City Attorney, please read by title only into record.
Yes, sir. Resolution by title only, a resolution of City Council, City of Westlake, Florida, approving and authorizing the mayor or vice mayor to execute the interlocal agreement between the City of Westlake, Florida, and Palm Beach County relative to the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Council discussion. Do we have any comments from council regarding this item?
No.
There being no further discussion, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 2024-09.
Second. There you go. You can have it.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Vice Mayor Langowski. Roll call, Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard. Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Excellent. Item B is the item we added to the agenda, and that was allowing the TPA to use our city's logo on their flyer for the walk, bike safety audit, Seminole Ridge Community High School, which is in Westlake, Florida. Let's have them correct the flyer to say Westlake, Florida. The only way I want this done. Join the TPA to elevate the walking and bicycling conditions for Seminole Ridge Community High School along Seminole Pratt Whitney Road from the crossings at Westlake to Water's Edge Drive to provide a community perspective and help us identify ways to improve this corridor. I don't know if we need to vote. Do we need to vote?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Mr. Mayor.
Have
Need
a
to vote
motion to allow the use of our city logo as long as they correct the city next to the high school.
Bless you. Motion to allow the TPA to use the Westlake logo as well as fixing Loxahatchee to City of Westlake, Florida.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, seconded by Councilman Werner. Roll call, Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski.
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Excellent. Let's move forward with city council comments. Councilwoman Leonard.
Good evening, Mayor. I'd like to just recognize and bring awareness to a few of the important dates for this month. Actually, today is National Foster Care Awareness Day. Just want to thank our foster families who have played a crucial role in standing with some of our most vulnerable children. Secondly, Happy Haitian Heritage Month. Happy Nurses Week to all of our nurses. Runs May 5th through the 12th. Also like to bring awareness of National Hurricane Preparedness Week, which is also May 5th through May 11th. There is a hurricane guide at the tax collector's office for our residents that are new to the area. So if you'd like to pick it up, it is available to our residents. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. And lastly, on May 27th, let's give pause to remember and honor those who have served who've given their lives in service to our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Martinez.
I do have a couple things that I want to bring up. First was in regards to the 5K. For next year, we're looking at a February 1st date. That's something we'll have to vote on next meeting, just to bring it to your awareness right now. Second is we were able to raise some funds at this year's 5K. And I wanted to get the council's, it's not a vote on where we can use the money. It's a, put on the agenda for next month. All right, next month we'll have to vote on where we can use the money.
Do you have some ideas?
I would like to use at the elementary school. And if that does go through, I would like to use the youth advisory board to help bridge that connection, see what they'll need. And that way we're using our boards the way we need to. And besides the 5K, that's all I have.
Do we know the amount?
$2,000.
Nothing to add at this point.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Last month, we actually had a very successful first meeting of the reconstituted Education Advisory Board. The board elected Anita Kaplan to serve as their chair for the next year. She's actually present here. I have to say the board was very active. They have lots of ideas this coming year, and we'll be meeting again in July. School board member Marsha Andrews was here. She gave a very thorough report on what's happening around our city and the schools that are coming down the pipeline and potential dates in the future. And also, I'd like to ask for a consensus for Juneteenth Awareness Day for June 19th, 2024.
Absolutely. 100%. Is there like 9 other proclamations you
No.
want to throw in there too?
Oh, yeah.
Just making sure. All right.
Are you all okay with that?
Absolutely.
So happy Mother's Day in May. You guys are the real MVPs. I want to reiterate some of the proclamations that I read tonight. Again, we couldn't do it without our wonderful clerks, the unsung heroes that hold the city together. Absolutely, Day of Remembrance and mental health. Mental health is so incredibly, apparently important. And let's shout out to reuse water too. Why not? While we're at it. So, aside from that, I want to thank all my colleagues, their dedication to public service. I joined a few of them this morning in order to break ground on the new elementary school that's going out in Arden. I'm sure some of our students will be able to attend. And it's a big piece of land. It's going to be nice. 15 acres. 15 acres of school, elementary school. So, yeah, wonderful. So thank you all for your service, and thank you to the public for joining us and your spirited comments. Let's go ahead and move forward with staff reports. What do we got? Buyers here? Deputies are here.
Good evening. Good evening, Council. My name is Moses Abdelnour. I work with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. I'm a battalion chief. Standing in for Chief Amanda Vomero, who could not be here tonight due to another commitment. And yeah, you're welcome.
We got for us.
Just basic stuff. I hope I can, answer any questions. Again, she's my supervisor, so there's 3 of us.
We'll take
one
it
in
easy
every
if you
shift.
can.
Yeah, take it easy on me tonight. For last month, just give you a rundown of the calls that we had. We had 16 medical calls, which take up the majority of calls that run in Palm Beach County in general. But here in Westlake was 55% alarms of any type. We had 11 that took up 37%. Vehicle accidents, that was 2, and that was 6.9% for a total of 29 calls in Westlake. And, it's pretty much all I have. If there's any questions that you guys have for me, I would try to answer them.
Just want to thank you for all you do. Do we have any
Thank you for your service.
question?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me. Questions? No? Good. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Always great to see you.
Good evening, Lieutenant Sowers with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. I missed you guys last week, or last month, rather. There was just a little small uptick in a couple areas, but we'll go over those real quick. We had 1,969 business and residential checks, 157 traffic stops. Of those, we had 137 written warnings, 37 verbals, and 42 citations. We had a total of 136 calls for service, and one business burglary and one to a construction. We had 3 thefts. One was from a grocery store, and a bicycle was taken from one of the bike parks. And other than that, there was a vandalism, which somebody keyed a car. Other than that, that's it. You guys have any questions? No?
No question. I just want to interject myself real quick on the construction theft. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I stopped to see what was going on because I saw the deputy's car. And I know it's basically, the type of theft that we have out here often is construction theft.
It is.
I know the one we're talking about. And what had happened was, it was like 45, 60 days ago, they had dropped off some scaffolding, right? And then scaffolding got picked up, delivered, and then the count was off. So they had to write a police report. So it's not necessarily always, it could have been a count off, it could have been this, it could have been that. It's not necessarily that people are like coming in the middle of the night and stealing dishwashers and whatnot. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I still believe we are one of the safest cities.
A lot of the construction.
And that could have been anything,
Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of the constructions is difficult because sometimes things get moved
Right.
and they aren't accounted for, but, was it moved and accounted for, or was it stolen? Sometimes it's hard to determine that without.
One piece of scaffolding out of like 90 pieces that was off, and then the rental company is saying you're off by one, it's like, I don't know who's gonna steal a piece of scaffolding.
Right. Your burglaries are generally construction.
Right.
They're not residential, so.
Just want to throw that out there.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, thank you for everything.
Thank you all.
I have 2 questions. Do the officers carry AEDs in their vehicles?
We have them on shift, yes, but not every vehicle is equipped with one.
Okay, and are the officers CPR certified?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
Okay.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. City Attorney, anything for us?
No, sir.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. City Manager.
A couple things. Currently, according to Supervisor of Elections, we have 3,093 registered voters within the city. Just got that report last week. For the first, from January to April, we've issued 394 permits. This time last year, we were at 400 and something. Overall, last year, the building department issued 1,474 building permits of various types. So we're still tracking between 1,400 and 1,600 permits every year.
We're around 2,500 homes.
Yes, we're just over 2,500 homes currently, which puts us at a population of a little over 5,500.
So that math doesn't math. That means that there's a handful of people who aren't registered to vote.
Correct.
Let's encourage everybody to get registered to vote.
How many voters did we say?
3,093, according to the Supervisor of Elections count that they sent out.
It's close, but it's around 500 or so that, count for some single people. So you're probably around 300 people that aren't registered to vote, 200 people or so. That's okay. Public comments, Robert.
One other item is that I would encourage residents to also visit the city's website. On the city's website, there is a land use map that will explain the various sections of the city that are zoned for multi-use residential. Multi-use does include all types of commercial, light industrial, mixed residential. It's a combination of what can be there. It was formed that way to allow flexibility as the market demands for what needs to be coming. That's all I have.
All right, now let's open up for public comments and requests. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to speak. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. A public comment card should be completed and returned to the city clerk. When you are called to speak, please go to the podium and prior to addressing the council, state your name and address for the record. All public comments will be noted and may receive a response if necessary. Any follow-up will be handled by staff at a later time. Madam Clerk, do you have any comment cards?
Mayor, I have no comment cards.
You have somebody with their hand up? State your name and address for the record.
You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
So, Jackie Campbell, 15938 Key Biscayne Lane, Crestwood. A question for esteemed officers back there. Do we have, I see on Sunday I was driving on Seminole Platte and I saw unmarked cars, like SUVs, different, not necessarily the cars that an officer would drive. And they were stopping motorists along the way. Is that something new for Westlake or is it Palm Beach County vehicles? Do we know?
Ma'am, you can ask the chief in private if you want.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Or she's happy to answer.
You can meet with her after the meeting.
Well, the reason I know because on both sides of Seminole Platte, that there was by the ER, somebody got stopped and the lights were flashing inside, and on the other side of the light, not the sound of the vehicle stopping, somebody has stopped. So that's why I'm curious.
I'm sure the lieutenant would be happy to chat with you on that.
Ma'am, you finished?
That's something that we should know, everybody. If I'm asking the question, I mean, other people have the same question.
But you can take that up with the chief privately.
Sorry?
You can take that up with the chief privately. You should use your 3 minutes for your comments.
Sorry, say it again?
Ma'am, you have 3 minutes to make comments.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If there's no further business. Oh, we have one more. Hey, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Erin.
Into the microphone, please.
Hello, I'm a Jupiter resident in Palm Beach County,
We need your address for the record.
122 Royal Palm. I was just doing the numbers today for your meeting this evening. And what I came up is, as far as I know, you have 4 precincts. Am I correct with that? You have 4 voting precincts? As far as I know, you have 4 voting precincts. The number I came up with, according to the SOE's website as of today, the voter statistics, or I'm sorry, the Department of Secretary of State, is you had 5,705 active voters, not 3,093. That was today I looked. During the last election, the supervisor elections had your turnout, or total turnout was 545 turnout. That included early voting, that included election day. I'm still trying to find out the numbers for the vote by mail and the UOCAVA, and that is the military and overseas ballots, those are kind of hard to follow. But as far as it looks like you all voted on early voting, 10 days of early voting, you guys only turned out 153. I don't know if that's good, but overall, that was 38% of your total votes. So your total votes for the whole election, as I said, was 545. At election day, you all had 292. That's what I have. I can send this to you all in more of a detailed. I'm still working on some of the stuff. Maybe I can public records you and see if you have some of the information I'm missing. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have any other comments from the public? Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Theodore Sarandis, 15780 Crestwood Place. I have two items that I'd like to address. First, for the city manager to record these comments, which are all important. And a couple of our visitors mentioned the issue. I've been talking to some of my resident friends. I've only been here 5 months, but there is overall confusion amongst the residents with regard to the baseline relationship between the city of Westlake and the Seminole Improvement District. Virtually nobody knows what the difference is. I happen to be talking to a staff member at SOE, and she said to me, the city of Westlake and the Seminole Improvement District are the same thing. Need, Mr. City Manager, a detailed explanation on the website, telling all the folks, we know this is the newest city, and it's a great place. I love it. I've been here 5 months. We need a detailed explanation on the website, the history of the city, relationship between the Seminole Improvement District and the city. A couple of these ladies from out of town mentioned concern about elections, and you guys have all been elected. I've been in the weeds. Councilor Warner was appointed to fill a vacancy, but people don't know. And the reason there was an election in March, I know because I follow it, is we didn't have anybody running. But folks don't know. They have no idea. They think that all of you guys are just appointed, and that's what happened previous when Minto set the community up. But you guys are elected, and we just need to let the folks know that there are elections, that they come every March, that the Seminole Improvement District and Westlake are two different organizations. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for telling me when I spoke months ago that although the city has jurisdiction, the Seminole Improvement District owns the roads. Most of the folks have no idea about that. And I just, something that's all important. So please, Mr. City Manager, can you staff, we have to get info on the website, fully explaining to the residents, this is the city of Westlake, Seminole Improvement District does this, and then tell the people what the relationship is. Communication. I know you guys have a very small staff, but we have to get that communication, Mr. City Manager, please. That's really important. Next one, Mr. Mayor, if I could, is for the legal counsel, because I'd like to propose a piece. We go to Publix, which I love going. It's the most beautiful Publix in the county. And I see two massive 8-person golf carts without license plates. It's a recipe for disaster. Mr. City Attorney, would you be kind enough to record my comments? I am asking this council to develop a city ordinance. Unless you have a license plate with a valid registration, no golf carts on Seminole Pratt Whitney Road, because there's going to be a big problem. Can you imagine somebody with 6 kids on a golf cart crossing Seminole Pratt Whitney and they get hit? We can't have that. So I would ask the legal counsel to draw up language, present it to the city council. I would like an ordinance stating for the record, the city of Westlake will outlaw all golf carts unless they have a valid license and registration and license plate on Seminole Pratt Whitney Road to avoid a future disaster. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have any more public comments? Okay. There's no further business. This meeting is adjourned at 7:03 p.m.